Hey yo, this is your girl, Angel Queen, and this is my new channel, Angel Queen's Triumph. And, well, speaks for itself, really, in the title. Um, the platform's gonna be similar to the old platform, talking about mental health and narcissism and all this kind of thing. My healing process, how I did it, how I'm still doing it, what I'm doing to cope with whatever it is I go through, how I coped with what I was going through before, and what I'm doing now to continue to better myself during my journey, and still dealing with the healing. It's not something that goes away. I'm in this alone without a therapist, without my medications, without any real true support. And it's a difficult journey when you have to do it. When you have help, it's made even worse, or not worse, but harder when you don't. And so basically, what I've done is decided that since when I started the other channel, um, it was also after I had done a different channel, all of them basically the same theme. The only difference was this last channel, which is still a Treasure Lights Breakthrough, um, basically had me doing acrylic nails, which I taught myself to do. Um, had me doing makeup tutorials, which I had to, you know, learn how to do certain makeups or use certain makeup that I didn't used to use before. And hair tutorials. Basically, I've always dyed my hair, or I've worn wigs, or um, perming my hair and things like that. Then I was doing like certain reviews on concoctions that I've seen on YouTube, other people's YouTube channels, and things like that. And my thing about that was it still didn't get me any more, any followers or any more subscribers or anything like that. And so I said, you know what? I'm putting myself through all these hoops again, trying to please people again, trying to give what I think they want again, at the detriment of myself, not focusing on the topic that was supposed to be at hand. And in doing so, I said, this is not going to continue to work. So let's start again. Try this one more time. New channel, same content, different things, much plainer, and more about straight to the point and the realism of everything. I see, people have to put on jokes and do all kinds of stuff when they're talking about stuff that's serious to get people to pay attention or to even be aware or even want to acknowledge anything. And I'm not anybody's clown. Been a clown for too long. So if you're interested in what it is like for a person with mental health issues, um, diagnosed, professionally diagnosed mental health issues, um, with medical issues diagnosed, who does not have their medications, both medical medications and or mental health medications, while still dealing with family members who also have mental health issues, and how I'm healing from past traumas with said same people, how I went from a traumatic situation with someone extremely similar, whom I have a child from, and coming from, as they say, the frying pan into the fire. And it's like what I did was I rolled from a boiling pot into the frying pan and then into the fire because it was like three consecutive situations: my estranged husband, his abusive ways, physical and mental, emotional, and spiritual. Then going to my youngest son's father, who is absolutely positively a narcissist. And when I explain some of the things that were done, you'll be able to go to finding out what a narcissist is. If you don't know, you can look it up, find out what all the traits are, and you can tell me if I'm not diagnosing him correctly, even though I am myself not an actual psychiatrist or therapist. I am a professional in the fact that I lived this life and have for quite some time and have gone through quite a bit. So not only was my father a narcissist, but like I said, most of the people that I dealt with were friends, other family members, siblings, things like that. And even I have some traits myself that I am very aware of that I am trying to fix too. So, what I'm doing right now, are a pair of jeans I got when I was in the shelter. Um, when I was, right before I came here, when I was in a female shelter in New York City, I went there with basically nothing because the narcissist I was with, which, like I said, was my youngest son's father, threw away everything I owned. Everything I owned. Everything. And when he did that, I went to the shelter with basically no clothes other than what was on my back at the time. And so when you're there, they will go through a bin of donated clothing and they will give you out of that bin of donated clothing. And that's what they did. And this was one of the jeans that they gave me, one of the pair of jeans that they gave me. And I just really liked them. I liked the way they fit. I liked that they were very comfortable. And I liked that they were very clean when I got them, as if they weren't really worn. Because even when I show you them after they're done, because all I did, I'm just embellishing them because that's just what I wanted to do, to make it my own. But yeah, I decided to get back to it because I started to work on this pair of jeans when I first came here to my mother's place. Where's here? I'm in Florida. And yeah, so when I first came to my mother's place from New York, I started to work on these jeans maybe 6 months in. And then within another, I would say, year and a half, I received SSI for 6 months, and I just started to buy all of my own stuff, more clothes that I would need, but not a lot. But still, I bought more of my own things just so I can have my own wardrobe again. Because my mother did at that time give me hand-me-downs that she has in her closet that she never wore past a certain age. And so it was in there. She was planning to give it to Goodwill. And since I came along, even though she's like 2 inches shorter than me, and I'm more, hefty in the breast area, a lot of the things that she was trying to give me didn't actually work as far as shirts go. But skirts and things like that, I was able to wear those things. And so it just, got me more tops than I did anything else because that's what I mostly needed. And so that's what I have. But I just put away these jeans and stopped working on them and got kind of sidetracked with a whole lot of other things that weren't peace oriented for me. They were more chaotic, so that's where I get that I went from the frying pan into the fire, because not only is my youngest son's father a Gemini, like my mother, whom I'm here with, but his narcissism, I guess you can say, prepared me for hers, because I didn't even realize she was a narcissist until I started paying attention to some of the things she was doing. And if you go and look at my old channel, like I said, Treasure Lights Breakthrough, there's a tent video there where I discuss about a video, uh, not a video, but a recording that I did where she had helped me with something I didn't ask her to help me with, and then she was talking like massive trash about me afterwards, and I was like, what? But I was led to, for whatever reason, do the video. I keep saying video, do the recording, because you have to think like this: how would I know when she's gonna talk mess about me if I don't know that she does that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that makes sense. If you don't know somebody's going to talk trash about you, you're not going to be able to record them, right? But if you know that they're going to do that, you're able to record them and catch them talking trash about you, um, about this, them helping you, even though they're the one who offered the help. Like, you're a problem. You causing them problems. You're an issue because they helped you. Like it was your fault. So that's part of something narcissists do. And so I have that recording even now, on the phone that I'm recording this on. I still kept it because I said, when I do finally get a therapist and I do say, hey, my mom's a narcissist, I don't get told, well, people are slinging that word around lately, and how do you know, and how are you diagnosing somebody? Are you a professional and all that stuff? Nope, but here you go. Here's my proof. You know what I mean? That's the best way to do it. It's very difficult to try to prove a narcissist is a narcissist when all you have is your word. you know, you can't prove the deeds, the things that they're doing, and all that kind of stuff if you don't have any physical proof or any recordings to prove it. And it's not out of context because it's very clear what's being said and why it's being said. And that's one of the reasons why it's a very good you know, advocate for me at this point when it comes down to proof of what I'm going through. The proof of what I've already been through, as far as it goes with my estranged husband, um, is basically the fact that we're not together and he still tries to get on my Facebook page and message me, and I'm thinking, we haven't been together 4 years, buddy. I don't speak to you. I don't bother you. I don't ask you any questions. I don't try to find you on your page. I don't talk to you. All I want is a divorce. And you won't grant me that. Why? I don't know, because we're not together. So what's the point? I'm all the way out here. You're still in New York or New Jersey or wherever you live now. Or I don't really care. My thing is, when I did have contact, he still wouldn't grant me my divorce, even though he promised he would. But that's part of the narcissist thing. They don't want to let you go. They feel you're their property. But, yeah, his thing was right before I ended up walking away from the nonsense after he got locked up over another woman. And trying to harm another man over this other woman. He basically was using me to try to make her jealous, and that's, a big no-no for me. I'm not here to help you make another woman jealous. Not that I loved him. I will be honest about that. Not that I was like jealous or upset about that. I really could care less. I didn't want him. But yeah, so he was into using me, especially when he found or realized I was a God fearing person and believed in the vows that I took. So he was definitely out to use me and told me to my face, yeah. When I asked him, why did you marry me? That's out of his mouth. Well, I plan to use you. And that's what he did. But from that, I'll get more in depth in the stories about what happened and how everything took place. But from that, then it was my youngest son's father who did basically the same exact thing. He already had another woman living in the house with him and my son, and there was turmoil going on because she didn't want to be there. She wanted to leave, and he wouldn't let her. Of course, because narcissists don't do that. He had already trapped her financially. He trapped her, mentally and physically. And because of that, when I came along, she was able to escape. And because of that, that made him very angry at me. That I kind of helped her get away, I guess you can say. And so that's where the huge problems came in. And when I started getting more and more punished because of what I had done. So things like moving another woman into the house with her children and basically flaunting her around myself and my son, and her kids around myself and our son, and then literally just treating our son like real garbage in front of me, and then manipulating our son even more in front of me. And it's just, a lot of terrible things that narcissists do, to the point where he was literally trying to make me sick. And I did end up in the hospital. I ended up having to wear a defibrillator for my heart when I came back, and I had to wear that for 2 weeks. However, since I've been here, I had to wear something called a life vest for 3 months. So that's how much stress I go through in being around these people. And before I had left New York, I told my children I'm coming out here to take care of myself, to focus on me and to heal and all that. It ended up going through something else again that made me even worse off. So at this point, all I'm trying to do is find peace. So I've been healing for the last 3 years. No boyfriend, no relationships with the opposite sex. Not that I'm into same sex. I don't care about that kind of thing. I don't mind. Anybody out there that's doing their thing, that's their business. But for me, that's not me. But I've not had a relationship physically with another man since I've been here in Florida, since November 27th of 2018 is when I came here. Today is April 23rd, 2022. So, just like I said, trying to focus more on me now, because I've done enough. I think I've done enough. I'm tired too, so I really do believe I've done enough. And I don't want to constantly keep being put through the ringer, because I have a new grandbaby coming, and this time it's my own daughter who's having a child, and I want to be there for Alina. That's going to be my granddaughter's name. In fact, that is my granddaughter's name, because in another 3 to 4 months she'll be here. And at the rate I'm going, I won't, if I keep on letting people dictate how my life is supposed to turn out and whether or not I'm going to be around in the next year or two. So I'm gonna just take you guys on my journey and the things that I'm trying to get accomplished. Basically, I'm trying to get on SSI again, but this time I'm going through an advocate who, they tend to make some mistakes lately. So I'm going to be calling them because this is all brand new. It's very fresh. I just opened up, I started to open up another case. Same thing with Medicaid so that I can start getting my medicines before my situation goes, to pot, basically. And, yeah, so me sleeping in a tent outside sometimes is therapeutic for me. Going in that tent, meditating and things like that is therapeutic for me. But on my physical body, it's no good. So I can't do it all the time, even though I want to. So that's basically what's going on for right now. And we'll talk more about what I'm dealing with, how I'm dealing with it, and what I'm doing to fix my issues all the way around. Make my life better and more, not only just comfortable, but more satisfying and more conducive to what I want to happen in my world and with my own children and my grandbabies. So that's basically how that's going down. But I'm gonna be walking to the store in a few minutes, so I may do another video while I'm walking there or back, depending how I feel about everything, because sometimes it's very noisy out there. It is the weekend, so maybe people won't be out there as much as they were when they're dropping off their kids to school and things like that. Buses going by and all that, and people going off to work early in the morning. So whenever I'm trying to record, it's very difficult to do. And not to mention the wind. Sometimes it's extremely windy out here. And then it makes it difficult to hear me. I still haven't gotten the plug on my camcorder fixed, so I'm still recording on my phone. And I'll be doing that until I'm able to afford to get it fixed and do my videos a little bit better. Have more range and yeah, just make it more professional as well. But as far as, like I said, once again, trying to please people, I'm not worried about all that. I'm not trying to please anybody. I'm trying to just make things aware from the perspective of someone who's been there and who themselves suffer with mental illness and how they're coping with that whole situation. How they're being able to make it in life to a certain extent, not, healthily, but still able to function to a certain extent without harming other people and things like that. I've had to avoid harming people on a very large scale throughout my life. I've had to learn to tame myself because I could have easily went a whole nother route and been justified. I've watched Snapped But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna get out of here because I need to get dressed, and I like to get out early before the sun comes up to burn me up out there. So I'll continue our conversation very soon. Once again, my name now, I'll explain that too. Angel Queen, and this is Angel Queen's Triumph. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys quite soon.